up, it's time to testify. Chain the signatures launched, we're reaching for the sky. Blockchain gets unlocked, N's leading the drive. Now side ain't changed, the future's is live. Chain signatures we ride, anytime, anywhere. Near protocol nights, catch a secret there. Blockchain now, technology's unfair. Elevate the game, chains over the air.
GMGAGNG, whatever the hell you want to put at the end of that suffix. Alex, Joe, how you doing? Before you answer that question, I just need to say one thing. That fucking hackathon video, right? Love it. It's brilliant. It's amazing. But after you've heard it like the fifth time, it becomes very, very obvious that there's somebody going for the entire song. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, how you doing, guys?
Great observation. I appreciate it. I'm doing great. Excited here to talk to Alex about Aurora here.
Yeah, GA everybody. I heard that, David, you said good Aurora, right? So hello everybody.
100%. Look, we're here today with some brilliant news. You saw at the very, very start of the live stream that the Redacted Hackathon has been extended until when, Joe? Tell them.
October 31st. So you got the end of the month to get all your stuff in. Spooky times.
It is spooky times indeed. Yes, so put away your slutty Halloween outfits because you still have an extra day to drop the best and greatest projects that the NEO ecosystem has ever seen. But I could regale you with tales about that for the rest of my life. But today we are here with Alex Shevchenko. He is the CEO and founder of Aurora Labs, the wonderful team behind Aurora, which is the EVM layer of NEO. So Alex, how you doing? How's it going? It's a shame we can't see your pretty face.
I mean, but you can see my pretty recent picture. So yeah, everything is pretty good. Be super busy day. I'm already 8 hours on different calls, trying to juggle many different things. But super positive despite disastrous weather in Lisbon.
Yeah, no, I mean, at life of a CEO, I'm sure you're busy, and you guys have so much going on at Aurora. I don't even know where's the best place to start, so I'll leave it to you. Maybe just kind of like the 30-second overview of what is Aurora, and then what is Aurora working on today.
Yeah, so Aurora is a kind of L2 stack that is on top of Near. With the difference that we are allowing, with our stack of technologies, we're allowing to launch not L2s, but rather a thing that we call a virtual chain. And the big difference in between virtual chains and L2s is that L2s are launched absolutely blank. You need to set up all of the infrastructure. But with a virtual chain, you're actually getting everything that is developed already in the Near and Aurora ecosystem, and also everything that is going to be developed in the future. So virtual chains are solving the network effect and the interoperability in between the L2s. So what we're working currently on this is that we are refining our stack of different these add-ons, right? We already have official integration with stable coins from Near, and these stable coins are listed on Binance and other exchanges, so people can easily move these stable coins directly to the virtual chains. So we are refining these add-ons. We are working on multiple new ones. And obviously, there are more and more people who are coming and launching their virtual chains using this stack, and we are supporting them and helping them out. Currently, we have 5 different networks that already work, and more and more are coming. So just trying to support everybody on this front. We are also investing quite a lot of time into the various decentralization initiatives, governance around Aurora, and grants and things around there. So keep an eye on this. And also, we have several internal projects that I'm not able to share at the moment. But there is also another big project that we are developing right now that is called Diffuse, and this is a multi-chain DEX that is working on top of Near based on the chain abstraction stack that is available on Near. Yep.
It sounds like, Joe, if we beg and plead enough, that maybe Alex will drop us some alpha during this live stream. Let's see what
we'll
happens.
prod. Yeah.
Or Alex, if you have any like hard alcohol nearby, maybe just get a little bit drunk so then you can tell us everything. Because I know that there are thousands of people out there who definitely want to know. But Joe, Alex, I think that we dive straight into it, right? So Redacted Hackathon happening right now, a absolute fat stack of prizes up for grabs. We're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Aurora is contributing to part of that. So what do people need to do to get involved, and how can they build with Aurora's tech stack to usher in that future of chain abstraction?
Is this a question to me?
Anybody who wants to take it can take it. I know, Joe, if you want to dive into a little bit more about the hackathon, feel free, and then we'll pass the ball over to Alex, and Alex can drop the wisdom on Aurora et al.
Yeah, why don't I'll make it easy on you, Alex. I'll kind of summarize what the bounty is, and then maybe we can kind of get in a little more detail here. But basically, Aurora is doing a really great one because it's a little bit more generalized. So you have some opportunity to really be creative and build yourself here. So the Aurora bounty is around consumer dApps, and so there's 65K up for grabs here with 4 different winners. Here, I'll read the actual description. Create a consumer-centric chain abstracted dApp that is easy to understand and engaging for users. Any categories, so gaming, social, finance, or lifestyle, can be designed with the average user in mind. And the goal is to something that could be a little bit more mainstream. It's the idea of leveraging blockchain without having blockchain in your face. There's some great suggested ideas if you go onto the Redacted website and at DevPost and see some different ideas, things like DeFi, fitness apps, GameFi, whatever you can think of. But the prizes here are really great because not only is there first, second, and third place, but there's also a wild card pool, which is allowed that if you're not quite in maybe the top 3, so maybe it's not maybe as polished, but there is something there. They're kind of reserving that as an opportunity to look at that and give some additional prizes as well. So this is a really great bounty that is really open for people to leverage.
Yeah, and I would like to add there that a portion of the bounty is in the services around virtual chains. So if you have been thinking of, if you would like to participate in the Redacted Hackathon, and you have been thinking of maybe to launch your own chain for your own specific use case, these also something that we can do. We can easily launch chains with Aurora Cloud in literally days. So your hackathon project can be your own EVM compatible chain with some specifics in it. Obviously, it's just not a plain EVM compatible chain with all of the stable coins available, with bridging available, with access to chain abstraction stack that is available on this chain, but also with your own particular use case. And the cool one, for example, of one of our partners, T-Pro network, they are making tokenomics as kind of tokens, or like as entities on blockchain, and these tokenomics can interact with each other, right? This project is already launched, but this is just an like a crazy idea for everyone there, that there are many different use cases that you can implement on blockchain, and together with Aurora Cloud, especially for consumer dApps, you can have your own kind of sandboxes where you can test and onboard users to. So again, as Joe said, uh, we're super wide. We see lots of adoption on consumer dApps everywhere, but especially on Near protocol projects like Hot, Sweat, AgoQuest that is working on top of Aurora, and many others. Kaichin, obviously. They are these kind of contributing into the consumer dApps, and we want to see more of this. We want blockchain to become closer to ordinary users, and ordinary people out there. So let's build it together, and we're happy to sponsor this part of the Redacted Hackathon.
Amazing. I love that. So let's pretend for a moment that the hackathon is finished today. I just submitted my project and it's gonna win first place on the Aurora track. What does that project look like to you guys? What is it?
I mean, it sounds amazing. I mean, the fact that you're pumping out top projects here, I'm so excited about that.
Just it's a part-time hobby, really.
Yeah. I mean, I know Alex has probably has a lot of thoughts. I mean, just from a developer standpoint, look, anytime you go into a hackathon, there's pressure to try to, sometimes maybe be perfect. But I think most of the time, most judges will always say it's more important to make sure that there is functionality and concept there. You can always polish it later. It's really about making sure that the mechanisms of whatever you're trying to do. So if you're building a game and you want to incorporate some GameFi, that those mechanisms are in place, even if they're a little bit rough, that you can understand from a judging standpoint what is supposed to happen. How is this going to work? How are users going to get onboarded? All of those pieces, more so than like the flashy stuff of like, oh, these graphics are amazing. Like that's great and all, but really you don't always have the time for that. It can always come later. Really focus on the nuts and bolts of the functionality of it. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, in general, yes. For consumer dApps, the idea just needs to make sense. I
Yeah.
can give you an example of a tool that I would beg somebody to create, and I would buy it like at the moment when I see it. I want to see. So for me, like if somebody will create this during the hackathon, for sure, somebody like this person or this team is going to get something from me personally. I'm not sure whether they're going to win the Aurora track, but they're going to get something from me personally. So here is the application. I want to see the AI bot that is going to help me and draft my tweets, and actually going to nudge me to do this tweeting, because for me it is pretty complicated, to maintain regular activity in social media, but I need to do it as the CEO of Aurora Labs. So if this bot is able to take uh, into it some kind of history of my tweets, the style of how I'm writing things, and maybe also can take the inputs from the people that I really admire and their style of communications, and is going to help me to do this. And if this application is going to have even some kind of simple connection to the blockchain, like just paying for this service on the blockchain, well, that will be more than enough. I really really would like to see this thing helping me, notifying me, making me more productive, and put this kind of hurdle of constantly remembering of tweeting, and helping me to find topics where to tweet, or topics to which that I need to react in Twitter, that will be tremendous. So here you go, a free idea for a fresh hackathon project, and well, potentially a successful business in the future.
There it is, and we can actually fold the blockchain in a little bit more. So if it tracks Ansem's wallet or Murad's wallet as soon as they sell a big bag of meme coins that you've been bull posting about, it then immediately posts on Twitter and degrades them and tells them that they have weak paper hands and that they should get out of crypto and they should stop dumping on their followers. Maybe
Yeah,
that's one suggestion.
absolutely. Yeah. Or you can
But
take a
if
look at the recent project that is called, the Terminal of Truth, right? The Truth Terminal. So the AI agent that has launched their own GOAT token on Solana, but you can launch tokens on Near too, right? That
Yep.
will be pretty cool.
does anybody know what that GOAT token means? Like, what's it represent?
I mean, this is just memes, all of the stuff.
I advise not looking further into it. Oh, let's put
Yeah.
it that way.
Well,
There's nothing at the end of that rabbit hole for you.
I wanted to say,
Sure.
I think this
Sure.
is what this is not only a great idea. This is why I think this hackathon is so great, because right there, not only did Alex give everyone a great idea of something you could build and submit to the Aurora, take payments, whatever. There are other projects on Near with bounties like Massa that has Twitter data that you can leverage Massa to use for your Twitter data, combine it with Aurora. You could submit to both tracks. You could win prizes at both places. You could win a whole bunch of money to get started on your new business venture. We can call it the demo bot or whatever, and there you go. So it's so many opportunities in this hackathon. You do not need to stick to one particular track.
Yes, 100%. And something to know as well is that it's actually possible to double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip, right? So if you are building on the Aurora track and you've absolutely smashed it, you've built everything that Alex wants, but it also happens to overlap in the Venn diagram that is your project with another brilliant track that's related to AI or to chain abstraction or to whatever it might be, you could stand to win a big fat stack from Alex and Co at Aurora, and then you might also win another big fat stack from taking the top spot in say the AI track, for instance. So that is super exciting. And if I was a developer and I was smart enough to code, I would be all over that.
For sure. Alex, I want to talk a little bit. You mentioned something called the Aurora Cloud. We just recently had Slava, one of your DevRels, on DevHub Live talking about how to build on Aurora, and this came up. Can you talk a little bit about why the Aurora Cloud is unique and how it gets you up and running so quickly?
Yeah, the core difference to what L2s are doing, or kind of many app chain stacks like I don't know, Avalanche, for example, subnets, right? The core difference here is the architecture, right? So many of these solutions that we already have in place, the question that they are answering is how to scale Ethereum or how to scale EVM. And unfortunately, there is no. The reason why this question is asked is because, well, EVM is not scalable. It is a synchronous process that can be parallelized for sure. So some projects are working in the direction of parallelized EVM, but they are going to face, and like the majority of the transactions that we see in, for example, Ethereum blockchain, the biggest EVM to date, is that half of these transactions are somehow connected to the Uniswap version 2 USDT to ETH pool, like to a particular smart contract, which means that, and the connection to this smart contract, just from the standpoint of the ordinary EVM developer, it cannot be parallelized. The interaction with a particular smart contract cannot be parallelized as a whole. So this is the problem. This is kind of the ground problem with EVMs, that they cannot be parallelized. They cannot be sharded. You cannot scale it as a single instance. So the best thing that you can do is just to launch many EVMs. So L2s are the answer how to scale Ethereum. But the beauty of Near protocol is that we don't have this problem. Near does not need to have the answer to the question how to scale Near. It is already scaled, it is sharded, right? It is working like that. And one bit of alpha, though I was not drinking anything, that we are working right now on the sharded fungible token standard for Near, which is going to make every single token sharded on Near, right? So this is something that the Ethereum it cannot achieve at all, right? So Near does not need to scale. Near is already scalable. The approach is proper. The approach can work with the with supporting lots of interactions on top of Near. So the question that we need to answer here is, okay, Near is scalable, so we don't need to have L2s on top of Near, but what we can have there, we can have your own or kind of the own ecosystems, smaller playgrounds for people. And this is the answer to the question, how can I launch my own blockchain? Which many people are asking right now. And the answer for them is that, oh, okay, I can use L2, but L2 was not purportedly built for launching blockchains. While on the contrary, Aurora Cloud was. So from the very beginning, we have been thinking of this future of many EVMs, and then we need to have many EVMs. So what is the simplest way how to do it? Well, it was not actually the simplest way. It was a pretty complicated journey, but we've actually put the whole EVM in a single smart contract on Near. That's probably the most complex smart contract in the world. But because we did it like that, all of these EVMs now using the same set of Near validators and chunk producers and all of these different types of nodes that are there in the Near protocol, which, by the way, makes them validating all of these EVMs. So when you deploy your virtual chain, you already have decentralized set of validators instead of a single node that validating and ordering transactions. So you're getting these by default, and then a development of a new node of a new kind of network is as simple as just an additional deployment of a smart contract, which is just one transaction on the Near blockchain, which is done in a couple of seconds. But now also the good thing that we are able to add here is this, and this is very specific to Aurora. This is not available on any other kind of L2 solution, is that we've introduced this thing that is called cross-contract call SDK, which literally inside of the EVM looks like a custom precompile or custom smart contract that you can call to schedule calls outside of this environment, outside of this EVM. And through these calls, you're able to get the access to ref finance, get the access to diffuse, get the access to chain signatures on Near, or get the access to Oracle solutions or Layer 0 that is integrated with Aurora mainnet, which is just another network like that. And stuff like that. So these connection, these easiness of interaction with other infrastructure that is available on Near and Aurora ecosystems, that this is really something that that brings additional advantages. It completely removes the problem of the cold start of an L2. And for those of you who are listening to this and thinking of launching an L2, I can tell you that it is going to cost you tens of millions of US dollars to fix the infrastructure for everything to work on your chain. You would need to have bridges, you would need to have stable coins, you would need to have centralized exchanges who are listing your network, which is insane cost. You would need to fix tons of stuff, right? So, and this is even before you're getting to the particular product that you need to do. Why? Why do you want to do this? And so please think two times, or please think one step ahead, right? And I see lots of frustration in the L2 kind of in the among the founders who have launched their L2s. And this is the point where when we are talking with them, but obviously it is a little bit complicated um, to change this. However, by the way, if you have launched your L2 and you're not very satisfied with this, setup of all of the infrastructure, I have good news for you. Even if you have your own network, you're able to migrate to Aurora. There is nothing that you need to do about this. We can help you. And for us, it is going to be as simple as just take your network state and deploy it onto the near smart contracts. How complicated can it be? There are actually some complications with the bridges and stuff like that, but this all can be resolved. This all can be done, and things are going to be super simple. So if you're frustrated with the launch of the infrastructure, you still can migrate to Aurora Cloud. And well, obviously, I would recommend you to do this, but just think from the standpoint. Do not trust me. Always verify, but think just from the standpoint of the architecture, and that is that this is a proper way. This is a proper answer to the question how to launch your own blockchain.
Yes. I think great summary of that. Can we talk a little bit about for the developers here, especially those in the hackathon, of what is the more pragmatic reason of having my own chain? What advantages does it give me versus just building directly on top of Aurora?
So, and your own chain can give you an opportunity to have your token or some kind of other token as a base token. So that's one thing. Second thing is that you're able to specify kind of custom gas mechanics. So, for example, maybe you're launching a game or you're a gaming studio. So, what you can do is to make sure that your users are not paying for transactions at all. So, you actually can, in the Aurora network, in the setup of the virtual chain, you can state that all of the transactions are free. By the way, this setup was the setup that Aurora mainnet has been operating for months after the launch, almost for a year. This is possible, right? So you can do this. You also can, for example, customize this network to accept transactions only from some specific NFT holders. So in order to get access to your network, you need to purchase an NFT, or you need to be a part of a some kind of guild or something. So there are lots of opportunities for customization of the chains, and many of them are available out of the box. And obviously, having your own smaller environment, it just gives you this feeling, this kind of sandbox feeling for everybody in your ecosystem, and this might be perceived, as a benefit for you.
Sure, makes a ton of sense.
All right, that was a whole lot of extreme alpha, actually, Alex. What it sounds like to me is you're saying that if there is an L2 out there that's maybe struggling a little bit, and I understand it's got to be super, super difficult, that they can just pack the bags and come over to Aurora and by proxy Nia. I don't know if that would be a hackathon track. I don't think so, at least not this year, but there is a bagload of other brilliant hackathon tracks, and one of the big focuses is, of course, chain abstraction. So Alex, I know you guys are pioneers in this space. I know you are cooking a lot that is going to enable chain abstraction on the scale that the people at the Near Foundation and within the Near ecosystem, and indeed beyond, foresee it. So what is it that people could build in the realm of chain abstraction that would float your boat, right? That would get your get the buzz going, right? It'd make it feel like you've had a couple of shots of tequila or whatever, it'll make you happy? What do you want to see?
Okay, there are so many different ideas that you can do with chain abstraction, and obviously this is the one of the big directions for the hackathon. So I easily can see any projects that interact in Bitcoin with some other chains. You can think of, for example, projects like a Bitcoin-backed stable coin, for example. Yeah, we already have seen the examples of, other algorithmic stable coins that are backed by some random assets that were not going very well. But I do believe that for such a stable asset as Bitcoin, with such deep liquidity everywhere, it is really possible to create an algorithmic stable coin. So this might be a thought. You also can think of the products that can use Bitcoin as a collateral in order to, so some kind of lending and borrowing protocols that are where you're kind of using multiple assets from other chains um, to borrow assets on near, on maybe on some other chains too, right? So that's one of the things. So cross chain borrowing and lending protocols. The thing that I really would like to see is some kind of index tokens. So you can think of issuing something like S&P 500 index, but on crypto, on near, right? So this would be a token that represents the partial ownership of a joint piggy bank of assets on multiple chains. You can say, okay, we have like 50% Bitcoin, 30% ETH, and 20% near, and this is a treasury. It gets rebalanced based on the smart contract rules every day, and anyone is able to trigger this rebalancing, right? So this is like a permissionless function, and there is a token that is connected to it. So I can buy, instead of buying and holding these assets individually and thinking of rebalancing and all of these things, I'm just buying these directly in the smart contract on Near, right? So I think this is a cool idea, and it has lots of potential here. And yeah, so many of these things that are previously were not possible in a decentralized manner, but were possible on kind of centralized venues like centralized exchanges, they are now possible through chain signatures on Near protocol. So yeah, if you ever have seen something that is useful on Texas, just take this idea, implement it in a decentralized manner, and here you go. This is your own decentralized product that that can be interesting.
Well, there you go. I think that answers the question, right? I have a feeling that I kind of saw FTX do this not so long ago. Well, all those years ago, but we know how that ended up, right? They certainly weren't decentralized. They really shat the bed with that one, I think, for lack of a better word. So if you do build it and you build it decentralized and you make it unshittable, then that would be absolutely magnificent to see. Joe, what about you? Is there anything that's really itching at you, that's inside the noggin of yours, that you want to see come to life?
Yeah, I mean, I think the liquidity stuff is really what's most interesting. And so anyone who works or done anything in crypto, and you probably are maintaining 1,000 different wallets, and you're jumping between things, and the issues around bridges, every bridge minus the rainbow bridge, has issues all the time, right? And now you are trying to just even do basic transactions, it becomes challenging. So I think anywhere you are building apps that are consolidating that experience and allowing me to still do what I want to do on other chains, and especially around DeFi, bringing that together is a net benefit for everyone, and it allows users who are not as comfortable with crypto to really start to come in and as well and see the experience of what that is like. Because right now, trying to onboard someone to say, hey, you need 3 different wallets for 5 different chains is sometimes a bit of a tough sell.
I love that. So I think at the core, it's really about making it accessible and as easy as possible for everybody to do what they want to do, regardless of where that dApp lies on the chain. I'm just going to go through some comments really, really quickly. This is a wild card. We don't normally do this, but hey, we're doing it anyway. Roland Curtis of YouTube said, top of the morning. Well, top of the morning to you too, Roland. Dank Spartan said, the guy on the top right sold me fentanyl. I think you might have had a mix up there, because only I, of the 3 attendees here, sell fentanyl and other related drugs. Of course, that is a joke. Don't do drugs. Fentanyl's dangerous. And Near Dev Hub, of course, said, are you signed up for redacted.devpost.com? And the question is, are you? How many hackers have we got so far, Joe?
Let's see. We are at, let's hit the refresh. We are at over 1,300 at this point right now. So still time to go too.
That might be, it might be Nia's biggest hackathon yet, right?
I would think so. I would definitely think so. And we're at over $720,000 in prizes. I mean,
wow,
huge numbers here.
No, that's mega money, I think, for pretty much anyone, unless they caught that 1000x on Moodang, in which case you probably aren't going to join the hackathon anyway, which is totally fine. $65,000 in Aurora and credits to build a consumer-centric dApp that simplifies blockchain interaction. You can find all of the information that you need to know on redacted.devpost.com. If you click on the little bit.ly links underneath it, you'll be guided to a wonderful Google Doc that tells you all of the information. Alex, are you going to be there in person? Are you going to be there in Bangkok with us, drinking Thai tea and eating mango sticky rice, or has some unforeseen events mean that you will not be there and break my heart?
I will not break your heart, David. Nothing on this in this world is going to make me break your heart. Obviously, I'm going to be in Thailand, so I'm not sure whether you want to see me or not. But I'm going to be there, and at least you have an opportunity to see me, or you have the opportunity to avoid events where I'm going to be, and not see me for sure.
No, of course I want to see you. I always love seeing you, Alex, and you, Joe, and the entire Near community. We're going to have a fabulous time. If you are tuning in and somehow don't know about Redacted just yet, it's November 9th to 11th. It doesn't matter if you are a hacker or not. We could not care less. If you are there for the future of the internet, the user-owned internet, and you want to make the world a better place, a brighter place, then please do come along. Tickets are free of charge. They will cost you $0.00. However, spaces are limited and people are signing up faster than they ever have before. So head to redactedbangkok.ai and you'll be able to see the beautiful new website that we have. Click through, register, cross your fingers that you'll get in. I'm sure you absolutely will if you apply now. And you can sit down and we can watch Edward Snowden talk. What do you think about that?
Great guest. I mean, the guest, the speaker lineup from Edward Snowden down is just unbelievable. Really great topics. And if you are a builder, this is a great conference to go to because you can actually go to all the events. The hackathon's now, and then you can actually go to the events and see the talks. Where normally on conferences you're kind of stuck just building. You can actually be part of this.
Yeah, and you don't have to stay up.
David.
Go, Alex.
Yeah,
go.
I just wanted to say that the next day, the other day, I run on the news about App Store delisted like 98 VPN applications on a Russian App Store. And the reason why this can be a little bit relevant because like the rumor has it that Snowden is in Russia. So
Yes.
maybe it's worth to to double check how he's connecting to the internet and maybe his VPN provider is gonna delist it now, and it's better to do this before before the actual talk.
Yeah, well, God damn it, I'm glad you told me that. I didn't know that. That's a real shame for our friends over in Russia, but it's just as big a shame for us if Edward can't make it. I'm sure that's not going to be the case. He is a bit of a hacker man himself, I guess. Let's see how that goes. We will certainly follow up with him about it. Alex, are you going to be giving a talk?
Probably multiple. So I'm going to
Give us
talk
the
about
alpha. What are
diffuse.
we going to hear about? Diffuse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about diffuse. Hopefully, in case the agenda makers of the redacted are going to accept my talk about Aurora. I'm really willing to talk about the upcoming features of Aurora and kind of Aurora's roadmap. So this is something that like really eager to share with the community. And I think I'm gonna have one kind of panel for two people or a fireside chat with a person who invented the term DeFi. I'm not going to tell anything more, but let's see how things are going to go and whether you are curious enough to figure out what is the fireside chat is going to be there.
All right.
It sounds like another alpha alert to me, guys. You heard it here
Yeah.
first. Someone clip that, chat, get that out there on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, on OnlyFans, on LinkedIn, wherever you need to put it to get the word out. You heard it. Alex is sitting down with the person who invented the word DeFi, and I'm sure he'll be spitting even more alpha there. Joe, you were going to say something. I got too excited. I interrupted you. Please.
No, I just said that. I mean, really excited lineup. I mean, I don't know who it is. I'll have to do my own research, I guess, for that too. But one of the things that I think people should be really excited about, hearing Alex talk about some of the roadmap is that Aurora is not just like an L2 contract on top of Near. They are constantly building products, and it's really exciting to see. So I really I can't wait to have all those announcements fill up my inbox as well.
Yes, I completely agree. At every single neocon I've been at in the past, Alex has blown us away with his constant innovation. And these guys ship, right? These are real shippers. These are ship posters. They didn't stop
For sure.
shipping since day one, which is beautiful, and it's exactly what we want to see. Alex, you're going to be there in Thailand in person. Aside from seeing me, what are you most excited for about Redacted?
So redacted in general, I think it is a little bit more than a conference. It's like a movement. I think there is the overall concept, like the whole concept behind the user-owned internet, is extremely close to my heart. I'm Ukrainian. I've been living in Ukraine since childhood, and unfortunately, not living in Ukraine right now because of the freaking war. But uh, like in general in Eastern Europe, we were raised with this thinking of that the government is not going to take care of you. And maybe it is less relevant for the Western world, but slowly but surely, the message of that corporations are exploiting people, they are monetizing your data, they are monetizing everything about you, they are shaping your buy, like what you want to buy. They are completely shaping what information you see, what you see in the news, right? Like they are so much controlling you that up until the point that you even don't know that you are not yourself already. You are somebody else. You're somebody who is raised by governments and corporations as a just an ordinary vegetable that consumes whatever it, like whatever they are feeding you in. I was raised with the with milk of my mom. I got this understanding just because there was so much distrust in the government, and because of this, I'm working in the blockchain vertical, and I'm super glad that Near takes another step besides just blockchain, besides just taking the control over your funds, right? And kind of, which is mostly the financial use case only in the blockchain. But this is a next step. Let's go and build user-owned internet. Let's go and build user-owned AI that is not maximizing the profits for some corporations, but rather shielding you from all of these corporations. Let's build additional things. Let's build chain abstraction. Let's build great user experience across the whole internet, including Web 2 and Web 3 spaces, right? This is so close to my heart. I'm happy to contribute to this movement, and I'm just happy to see all of the people who are thinking alike and thinking the same, and accelerating this new bright future that is for sure going to be in place. And the more people are going to join this, the more people are going to contribute it, the faster this future is going to appear in front of our eyes.
100%. And I think that that's what we've tried to embody with the tagline, right? So reclaim your sovereignty, because we're all sovereign individuals at the end of the day. And I don't mean the crazy type who sit there and say, hey, I don't have to pay a tax on my car, the sovereign citizen type. I mean, we are all for having full control of our assets, our data, our right to choose, and of course, our minds, because with the prevalence of AI, it is becoming more and more difficult to A, really trust what you are saying, and B, understand what the logic is behind the reason that you're saying what you're saying. And I think Redacted is a big, huge middle finger to the people at big tech, to tyrannical governments. And I could honestly, I could be like this guy here, right? I could go on a huge rant and tell you why you gotta go to Redacted this year in order to fight big tech before they put atrazine in the water and they make the friggin' frogs gay. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it a little bit more timid and just say, yeah, hey, look, I'm excited too. Joe, I've heard through the grapevine that unfortunately you won't be there, which breaks my heart.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
sorry.
that's it's really quite devastating. But Joe, I am hearing as well that there is another live stream on this evening, actually. Can you tell the people what they need to know, what's going to happen?
Yeah, in a few hours from now, about 4 hours from now, we have Zeta Block, who is developing an AI platform here as part of Near's push towards decentralized AI. And they're going to be giving a workshop of how to start building with their product. And so we're really excited to have them on, and we're going to spend some time and go through that and our continuation of the Redacted workshop series that we've been doing.
All right, brilliant. I love that. Alex, we only have 10 minutes left, unfortunately. I've got to go eat my dinner, and I got my tracksuit for Redacted. It's arrived. I can see it, but I'm not going to show anyone until we land in Bangkok, November 9th. Alex, where do people need to go if they want to learn more about Aurora? They want to learn more about you. They want to learn more about the hackathon prizes. Tell them where they need to go. Tell them what they need to do.
So, if you would like to come to the Redacted hackathon or conference, I highly encourage you to Google for Redacted Bangkok near blockchain. For sure, the number first in your search engine of preference is going to be the proper website. If you want to learn more about Aurora ecosystem, Aurora mainnet, what are the type of the projects that are there, and try them out, I would recommend you to go to aurora.dev. This is the ecosystem website. If you're searching for a job in a high performance company that is oriented on results and on shipping things, or as David said, ship posting things, then you should go and check out Aurora Labs website, which is auroralabs.dev. If you want to know a little bit more about virtual chain concepts and what Aurora Cloud has in store for you, then you can go to auroracloud.dev. And unfortunately, not a very actively managed social media of my preference is X, and you can find me there at Alex Aurora Dev. Super simple. Everywhere is Dev, right? Yeah, and I hope to see you there in Thailand or in Twitter, and we can have a chat.
Amazing. Alex, I actually have one more question before we leave. But before that, Joe, tell the folks, what do they need to do, where they need to go, what do they need to know to either get involved and start hacking right now? I know we're only 2 weeks out, but it's not too late, right?
No, definitely not too late. I mean, you still have a couple weeks to get going. Should be plenty of time to get a project up here. Redacted.devpost.com is the place to go sign up. All the resources, resource panel, you can go through, see all the different documentation, get going, get building. If you need help, the Telegram links that we have available to everyone are in that resources as well. Come join the chat, and we have plenty of DevRels on all sides to help, as well as the community as well. So jump on in.
Amazing. I'm gonna scroll the DevHub Telegram as popped up there as well. T.me/neardev. That is where all of the super smart folks live. Go talk to them. See if you can steal their ideas, monetize it, and then have them crying for the rest of their lives, maybe. Or you could build a team together. That would be a much nicer way. Alex, there is one final thing I want to ask you. I like to ask each and every single person whenever we have them on, whatever it is, podcasts, conferences, Twitter Spaces, live streams, and it's not really a question. It's more so an opportunity. If you could just riff for like a minute, 2 minutes, as long as you want, about absolutely anything in the entire world. You can tell us why Aurora is the single greatest piece of technology the globe has ever seen. You can tell us why the world is in fact not a globe and it's actually a flat plane surrounded by ice. You can tell us how the best way it is to go to sleep at night. You can tell us what your favorite type of tea is. You can tell us about your dogs, your cats, your birds, absolutely anything you want. I just want to pass over the mic to you so people can get to know a little bit more about the Alex behind the picture and behind the tech, rather than just being Mr. Alex Aurora Dev, as valuable and incredible as that is.
That's interesting. Obviously, I do not want to shill my own project again. It's enough shilling. I think that, and by the way, please, everybody, do your own research. I would like to recommend everybody stay safe in crypto. Please double check what you're doing, and please always try to understand what kind of transactions you're signing. Actually, yesterday I had a funny experience of breaking my freshly new ledger stacks after I set it up. So good thing that I have a backup here. But sometimes these things are happening even with the best companies in the crypto industry, right? So just be on the safe side. Always have the backups and stuff like that. Now, what I would like to tell to everybody, besides these things, is that just recently I had a birthday of my kid, and together with my wife we organized a quest, a real world quest, when we went out in the park and they were searching for ingredients for birthday cake and stuff like that. Please do not forget that though we are living in the internet that is soon going to become a user owned internet, it is still uh, humans that are surrounding us, and they really love us and they want us to be humans too. So it's always good to pay some attention to them and pay some attention to your long-term goals, like your health, and the relationship, and other things. So do not, please think of these as also investments, and do not forget to invest in these long-term projects. Yeah, and this will also help you to kind of plug off the blockchain things, and then maybe later come back into it with fresh ideas and fresh point of view on all of this. Stay humans, and let's reclaim our identity.
100%. I love that,
Love it.
Alex. That was a brilliant message. And regardless of what Polkadot or anybody wants to say, the actual layer zero of blockchain tech and the most important layer Whoa, fuck you, whoever the hell just did that. Whoever the hell just broke in, we're coming for you. Redacted. It's gonna be over, kid. Anyway, the most important layer, of course, of blockchain tech is the people. So that's me and you and everybody in the NEA community and beyond, and of course our family and friends. Joe, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this live stream up?
No. Let's end on that. That was great.
You've been duped. Duped into thinking anything decentralized was ever gonna work. But don't worry, there's a better way. Stop wasting your time with all this blockchain and go. You've been.
Listen, it's the globalists. The globalists are coming for us. They're hacking our live streams. It's over for you. All right. I don't know who that was or where he's from, but we will find him and we will take him down together at Redacted November 9th to the 11th in Bangkok. If you're a developer, head to redacted.devpost.com. Sign up. There's $700,000+ of cash and prizes available for you if you build something extremely valuable, which I'm sure each and every single one of you will. If you are not a developer, or if you are and you don't want to get involved in the hackathon, but you want to join us in person at Bangkok, head to redactedbangkok.ai, register. Tickets cost you a grand total of $0.00, but spaces are very limited and they are running out and they're filling out pretty quickly, so do it while you can. But in the meantime, everybody, lots of love, God bless, and I will see you November 9th to the 11th, Bangkok, Redacted. Until next time, bye-bye.